Welcome to another edition of Big Blue Weekly presented by Ford. I'm Bob Papa. On Monday night, it's the Giants and Patriots in Foxborough. We got a big show lined up for you. Carl and Coach Kafka will go above the X's and O's. We'll take a look at some Giants who are definitely Pro Bowl worthy for this 2025 season. And Carl goes to the coach's tape and much more. We'd like to welcome in my co-host Carl Banks and the head coach of the New York Giants, Mike Kafka. And Coach, obviously some news from earlier in this week. You made a change at the defensive coordinator position. I know it's always tough, right? What were some of the thoughts that went into the decision?
Listen, I got a lot of trust and faith in Charlie Bullen to go and do a great job. He's got a great staff around him that can support him. And, you know, I'm excited to watch him go and see the vision of his defense.
Coach, when you look at just the resilience of the offense, and I know it's a team sport, you got to have complementary football, right? I mean, as a head coach, you're the coach of everybody, not just the good parts that are doing good. So when you made that decision, I know it didn't come easy, right? Because it's people that have families and jobs, but it's a results-oriented business, right?
Absolutely. It's never easy to make a call like that. And my thoughts are with Shane and his family. And I think Charlie's going to do a great job stepping up for us. And really everybody, the whole unit, our offense, our defense, our special teams, all the coaches and players, we all got to come together and work for each other.
All right, let's talk about the game that you got to deal with on Monday night. New England is having a really good season. Obviously, Mike Vrabel has had experience, and then the addition of Josh McDaniels, bringing him back. What have you seen on tape as far as Drake May and this growth of this second-year quarterback?
Yeah, Drake's have a little bit of experience with him in terms of in the draft process and understanding who he is as a kid. He's a really competitive kid. He's doing a really nice job of distributing the football, making plays downfield, and some scrambled stuff as well. And he's operating just at a really high level. They're doing a good job of mixing and matching the run, the pass game. On the defensive side of the football, these guys are doing a heck of a job stopping the run. And I think they're really being able to kind of dictate to offenses and what they want to do. And then the special teams game, they're playing really good ball, really in all 3 or 4 phases.
Coach, you talk about having a detailed plan, and each week your offense, your team has come out prepared. It looks like you make the right adjustments and you continue to adjust during the course of the game. Is that kind of the hallmark of what is expected of this team now, just solid preparation during the week and going out on Sundays and executing?
Yeah, that's certainly the standard. And the other thing I would say is we got to find a way to win, find a way to win the game. It's great that we come out and start the way we have. That's given us an opportunity and a chance to win, but we got to find a way to finish. So that's going to really be an emphasis throughout the week. How do I build together a practice plan that can get that done? How do I put the players in more situations to where we can build and practice winning those games at the end of the game? So whether it's 2-minute drills, whether it's 4th down, got to have it type situations, those are things that the coaching staff that we look at and see, where can we improve? Those are more, potentially some opportunities for our players to be put in more of those situations to practice.
Let's talk about Jameis Winston. I thought he played a really smart game last week. I know he had the 1 interception, but he threw the ball away a bunch of times and didn't force it. Mm-hmm. How proud are you of that discipline that he showed in that game to kind of make sure that you stayed positive?
Yeah, very, very proud of Jameis. He played his butt off in the run game, making us in and out of bad plays into good plays. In the pass game, made really good decisions, was decisive, was confident, threw it with accuracy, gave our guys an opportunity in one-on-ones. I just thought he did a really nice job managing the game. For me as a play caller, it was easy because I was able just to give him the plays and let him just go run it and operate really fast. And he pushed the tempo when we needed to, did some no huddle, did some huddle. I thought he managed the game and played a heck of a game.
Final question. You got a primetime game. You've played a couple of them already this year. Do you get a little extra juice when it's a standalone game?
It's, I think for me, it's just about having our consistent approach, not looking too far ahead. We got a great week that we got to put together for the players. I think when the game time comes around, I think everyone will be a little bit excited. It's Monday night. You should be excited about it. But I think right now our focus is on, all right, what's our intent? What's our plan for this week? And how are we going to knock that out?
Coach, we appreciate a couple of minutes. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family.
You too.
Thanks, Coach.
Coach isn't done, though. When we come back on the program, Carl and Coach head to the auditorium for Above the X's and O's, as we're just getting started here on Big Blue Weekly, presented by Ford.
There you go.
Oh, thank you.
Of course.
Happy Thanksgiving. Just for you.
Giants very active in the community, helping out in preparation for Thanksgiving. As we welcome you back to Big Blue Weekly, presented by Ford. Monday night, it's the Giants and the Patriots in Foxborough. Time to head back over to the auditorium, where Carl is with Coach Kafka above the X's and O's.
Coach, there are a lot of plays that stood out as above the X's and O's, but let's just go through this Wan'Dale Robinson route catch, but also the other elements that made this play successful.
Absolutely. So this is just like a cross-post concept we have with some play action. First off, I thought the O-line really sold out on this action, and we've been tying in some of these run game looks that we've had and some of these formations. But this really gives Wan'Dale an opportunity to attack a little bit more downfield. You picture him as primarily a slot, but now with him being able to play outside, you see some of the dynamic ability he has. The play starts with the protection. So good sell by Jameis, good sell by the back. Get these backers to step up. I mean, typically you're looking for like a one step for the backers to step, but you get these backers to step up 3, 4, 5 steps. Like, that's a great setup. That's sold by the quarterback, the halfback, the offensive line fit into it and making it feel like run. And then the protection here. You can see just a great pocket. We got Theo and Belly double teaming, a premier pass rusher in Hutchinson on the backside, doing a heck of a job. Like, just look at the pocket, really clean. Sure. It's going to give Jameis an opportunity to attack this three-level vertical. So when we're looking at this three-level vertical, we're seeing right through Slayton on his post. And his speed and his dynamic ability is really able to take two players out of the play, really opening up this space for Wan'Dale to run his cross. But overall, really good play from, being on the minus 20, 25-yard line. And now we're into an explosive, and now we're across the 50 into field goal range in one play.
But also, Coach, if you can just go back to the beginning, we can look at it right here.
Yeah.
The other guy who gets pulled up into that is the safety. The safety runs down, and it changes their coverage because he's so close to the line of scrimmage that they're basically a single high after he comes to the line of scrimmage, right?
No question. Again, our coaching staff has done a really good job of marrying up the run, the pass, the movements, the screens to make it all look the same. But overall, really good job. Just you see our offensive line selling out of it. We're getting 4 hands on a premier pass rusher. Jameis is staying on time and throwing a nice play, and obviously the catch and run has been huge with an explosive player like Wan'Dale.
Thanks, Carl. When we come back, we'll take a look at some Giants worthy of Pro Bowl consideration. All that and more here on Big Blue Weekly, presented by Ford.
Out of Ole Miss, Jackson Dart at quarterback.
Drops back to throw, escapes. Now he's going to run with it. Cuts at the 15, he's to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown Giants! Jackson Dart, 20-yard touchdown run.
Here's the pressure. Down he goes. Brian Burns.
One of the best sack leaders in the league.
Chased by Burns, sacked by Burns.
And that was incredible.
The best pass rushers in the NFL.
Ran at a different clip. Andrew Thomas is just a monster. Just bury this guy.
You see that Thomas block? He sealed him inside.
He sealed it inside. As soon as he collapsed down, got that whole thing sealed.
Dexter Lawrence, one of the best in the business on the line for the G-Men. Batted down, picked off. Look who's got it. The big man, Lawrence.
He's running down the left side to the 15, 10, 5, and he's knocked down at the 1 by Herbert. Sexy Dexter Lawrence.
One of the most productive receivers in the entire league, operating out of the slot.
Singletary back to Winston, and now Winston fires downfield into the end zone. Touchdown, Wan'Dale Robinson.
Right tackle number 72, Jermaine Illuminor.
Nice block by Illuminor.
How about Belton?
That's an open field tackle made by the Giants. Dave Belton.
Welcome back to Big Blue Weekly, presented by Ford. Monday night, it's the Giants and Patriots in Foxborough. Carl, on Thanksgiving, Pro Bowl voting open. So this is where, the players get to vote, the fans get to vote, and the Giants have some players that are certainly Pro Bowl worthy. And let's start with Andrew Thomas. I mean, he has been unbelievable this year. He's solidified the offensive line. He's playing at a Pro Bowl level again.
Yeah, he is it should be consensus. I mean, any and everyone he's faced, will walk out of that game saying, hey, he's the real deal.
Yeah, I mean, and the Pro Bowl thing it's kind of weird in the sense because he made an All-Pro, but he didn't make the Pro Bowl that year. So, you have player voting, you have fan voting, it goes into a mix. But he is certainly worthy of Pro Bowl consideration for the Giants. Brian Burns.
Another one, the numbers speak for themselves. The numbers don't lie, and the performance when you watch him, it all matches up. These are not empty calories down here. These are real earned, hard-earned numbers.
Yeah, and he'll get an opportunity, right, in a primetime game on Monday night, a standalone game, the Giants have had a couple, to really shine some more and get more momentum because it is hard when you're on a team that has 2 wins to get that kind of consideration. But with the way he hustles and his effort, I mean, he's a Pro Bowl caliber.
Oh, he stands out amongst the crowd for sure.
All right, next up, Jermaine Illuminor. Now, when you look at the way he's played this year, I mean, he has been lights out and deserves at least consideration.
Well, he will probably get consideration. And again, you talk about because the record is what it is, right? It makes it hard to really shine a spotlight on one area of the team. But again, his opponents know that he is doing a great job. And again, here are the numbers, folks.
And when you think about like the Giants championship teams under Coach Coughlin as an example, right? You always talk about the left tackle.
Yeah.
But you better be good on the other side too, because the pass rushers line up everywhere.
Well, they try to move you around so that you don't have to face the Andrew Thomases of the world, and he rises to the occasion every time.
All right, the last guy, and this is not necessarily Pro Bowl, right? Jackson Dart's only started 7 games. Mm-hmm. As far as all rookie team and maybe rookie of the year offensively, he certainly deserves some consideration.
Well, yeah, as an all-rookie, he's going to be there. He's going to be on that team.
So think about this, Carl. Jackson Dart in his first 7 starts has 7 rushing touchdowns. The only other quarterback in his first 7 starts to have 7 rushing touchdowns, Cam Newton.
Wow.
Jackson Dart has 5 games with 1 or more rushing touchdowns as a rookie. It's never happened in the history of the NFL for any quarterback.
And we're talking about a league that constantly evolves too. So this is something that, this makes this young man stand out amongst the crowd.
All right, that's a look at some of the nominees for Pro Bowl for the New York Giants. And again, fans can go online. The voting began on Thanksgiving. When we come back on the program, Bruce Beck will join us, plus Carl goes to the coach's tape with strategy. All that and more here on Big Blue Weekly, presented by Ford. Welcome back to Big Blue Weekly, presented by Ford. Monday night, Giants and Patriots in Foxborough. So what's the vibe in the Giants locker room? For more on that, here's Bruce Beck.
Hey, Bob, the Giants are in New England this week, a team that has vastly improved from their 4-13 record a year ago. New head coach Mike Vrabel has crushed it, and Drake May, in his second year, has had a terrific campaign. It's a heck of a challenge for Big Blue.
Well, he's talented arm. I do feel like he makes the right plays at the right time. He does seem a bit poised maybe a little bit too poised in the pocket. What I mean by poised is that he takes his time, that he makes the right reads, and he tries to make the right play. It can also bite you in the butt at a certain amount of times if you got edge rushers coming and you're not really too cognitive of where they are. But just overall, he's been showing his talent for sure.
They're a great team. They have a great record up front. I know they're going to have a physical mentality, so we're just going to have to do our best to have that same mentality. I think the technique and the run game, fitting some things differently, our identification with the front, so I think that all that's going to matter.
We got 5 left. Kind of like, I guess if you want to look at it as a clean slate, you can. But we got 5 left, 5 guaranteed, and that's all we're going to get. So, why not? Is that this the end of the season? All the goals that you wanted to hit, that you had penciled out before the season, why not go out there and give it all you got to get to it? So if you want to look at it as a clean slate, you can. I kind of been looking at the back half of the season as, I'm finna go all out regardless of our record or regardless of whatever we eliminated, whatever. It don't really matter to me. What only matters is like when I'm between the white lines in the film that I put out there. So that's kind of what I'm focused on and what I'm trying to, reiterate to the guys.
The Giants have 2 Super Bowl victories over the Patriots. In both those games, they were big underdogs. Once again, Bob, they're a big underdog this week. I know the stakes are different, but I'm just saying.
That's right, Bruce, you never know. And remember, 2011, the Patriots had that long home winning streak, and Eli Manning's touchdown pass to Jake Ballard in the final seconds ended that streak in Foxborough. Now it's time for this week's edition of Strategy, brought to you by Microsoft Copilot. And Carl, we're going to take a look at New England. Mike Vrabel, first-year head coach. Josh McDaniels, first-year offensive coordinator. Josh is one of the best in the sport. Drake May is completing 71% of his passes, 21 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and he's got 2 rushing touchdowns.
Bob, and it's all about matchups for Josh McDaniels. It's always about getting a slot on a slot corner, a back on a linebacker. And we'll take a look. I'm going to circle right here on your screen and just take a look at what they try to create. They know it's man-to-man. Now he just runs right by the nickel linebacker. Now, what this does for your defense, once they get him on the ground, let's just take a look at it from where the quarterback sees it. Now, the quarterback, he knows that he's trying to get a one-on-one out in the flat, so he wants to hold the safety right here. That means if you're going to hold the safety and you've got to wait for your guy to get all the way downfield for this play to work, because this is the matchup that they've identified, this says to me, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, you got a chance to get to a quarterback because this is a slower developing play. He's holding the safety. He's in a full 5-step drop. A full 5-step drop just to get a one-on-one to the outside. You've got to be able to get to the quarterback. They've got to devise something to get the quarterback on the ground.
Let's take a look at their running game. Ever since they started using Travion Henderson more and more, it's gotten more productive, and he is an explosive threat. But, Carl, we talk about it all the time. It's the same basic play that we've seen all year, and the Giants have to figure out a way to stop.
So I'm going to circle these 3 guys here. Your 3 linebackers. I'm going to let this run without comment, and you'll see it looks familiar. Inside run, get him to the ground. Now let's just take a look at what your linebackers are doing. When you read your keys, know what the play is going to be. This is a run play, and there's nothing about the action up front that says this is a pass, but everybody that could make a play once the ball got through the line of scrimmage, they're all taking themselves out of the play. And then here's your opening, here's your opening. Everybody's getting blocked. But, Bob, with this opening and this guy being unblocked, go make the play.
Right.
Just go make the play. You have an opportunity. If you read your keys, you'll make the play for no gain.
All right, let's take a look at the pass rush here. Again, Mike Vrabel played defense at a high level. He won Super Bowls. He's coached it. What are they doing here?
Well, again, they changed the math for your offense. So they got 4 across, so you're going to count on 4, but they dropped this guy down in the box. He comes in with a very aggressive posture. He's not even at the linebacker level. He's not playing man-to-man coverage with that posture. If he is, who does he have, this guy or this guy? Neither. So what they do, they take, it's a stunt or a slant, they send everybody this way, right? And then they send 2 guys this way. So they outnumber you with a 6-man rush. And what they do, the backside, we call it the backside linebacker here, he's a part of the rush delayed, right? I suspect if Jackson Dart's going to play, he'll be the guy that spies because they're sending this guy out with the back, so they're blitzing here and here, but he could be too late. You got to pick him up. Just a basic stunt, and they just bring 2 extra guys, but it's not hard to figure once you do your math, but the Giants have got to be communicating up front.
Yeah, and I mean, Jameis Winston is not the same threat to run as you're going to get out of Jackson Dart. So, Carl, you look at this game, May has been fantastic in his second year. Josh McDaniels has a proven track record as an offensive coordinator. What about the adjustment for the Giants with Charlie Bolin being the new defensive coordinator and someone who has not been a defensive coordinator in the NFL? How do they kind of bring it all together this week?
Well, listen, this Giant defense this season has been good until it hasn't. They've had their share of good plays. What you do is you lean into your strengths. Your strength should be up front, and then you kind of mitigate the exposure on the back end of it. I think they can finish games if they just pay attention to detail. The offense gives them enough to stay competitive in games. They've got good players on the defense. They've got to learn to pay attention to detail and just finish.
So those are some of the things that you got to watch for this week when the Giants take on the New England Patriots. This week's game between the Giants and Patriots is presented by the New York Lottery. That wraps it up for this week's show. For Coach Kafka, Carl Banks, Bruce Beck, and our entire crew, I'm Bob Papa. Thanks for joining us for this week's edition of Big Blue Weekly presented by Ford.